Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blacktown City Toastmasters podcast show, a toast with the master of Blacktown. Today, we have another incredible guest with us. She's one of the newest member of Her name is Elishka Chand. Elishka is a double degree graduate from the University of Technology, Sydney in medical sciences and business management. She currently works for AMP Management. Sorry, AMP Bank. She joined Blacktown City Toastmasters in July 2020. Rest, we will hear from Elishka. Welcome, Elishka, to the show and just tell us something about yourself. How are you feeling today? I know you had your exam yesterday and you're done with that. You look a little bit of relaxed, but just tell us more about yourself and why did you join Toastmasters Club?
Thank you, Farheen, and thank you so much for having me on the podcast. I'm doing good today. I've, just finished my exam. So it was an exam for postgraduate studies, so an entrance exam. So fingers crossed that it goes well. I am working, as you said, for AMP Bank. I come from both a medical science and a business management background. I work very close with clients at the moment with relating to COVID relief. I joined Blacktown City Toastmasters because I attended the 50th anniversary for Blacktown City Toastmasters and I was a guest and I got called up to do a table topics and I was quite confident. I thought, I'm going to have this in the bag. And then when I got up, I spoke for probably about 15 seconds and completely blanked out. And I've gone, wow, I haven't had practice speaking publicly for so long when you come out of university. Yes. And generally with work meetings and things, you've got time to prepare. But that impromptu kind of speaking, I was just like, wow. So for me, joining Blacktown City Toastmasters was definitely like a reinvigoration to public speaking and reintroduction to public speaking. I just really needed it and I've really enjoyed it. I think it's been great.
That's great, Elishka. I feel always very great when you hear about the experiences of Blacktown City Toastmasters Club members. It really gives me boost and motivation, like to do more in the club activities and all that. That's the reason I took up this position this year as a vice president for public relations. Moving on to the next question, I know that you have spent a very short time with the Blacktown City Toastmasters Club, but do you remember any memorable or funny event during that time that you would like to share with us today?
I think one of the memorable moments that I've had would have been after my first icebreaker speech that I did. So I did an icebreaker speech and I was very nervous because obviously coming off the back of my experience with the 50th anniversary dinner, I was a bit scared and worried that I'd blank out again, but it was good. It was a prepared speech. And I think one of the most memorable things as my evaluator was Yashwant. And, he's very renowned, he's very skilled, and he's very talented in Toastmasters, very respected in Toastmasters. And his initial response was, she captured my attention so much that I didn't even look down to write notes. And that was really, really encouraging to me because I was like, wow, Yashwant is so respected and so talented. For him to say something like that just was like a big pat on the back for me. So that would have to be like the most memorable thing for me with Toastmasters so far.
I think that's a great motivation, the way evaluation is structured. Like you are telling that what you have done great, and then you're giving a stretch at the same time after that, and in a very positive tonality, in a very positive way, and that encourages especially the new members that they can do more. They have a lot of potential to do more, which is great.
Yeah.
Elishka, yes.
There's a little bug. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Do you see any difference before joining the Toastmasters Club? Again, I know that it's a very short time period, but still, like, would you like to highlight anything that what has improved in last few months in your skills
Yeah.
before joining and after joining is?
I think definitely the thinking on your feet. So with
Mm,
table topics, just being able to really quickly pick up something and speak about it. So
yes.
quick thinking skills, I think, has
Mm,
definitely improved.
mm,
And I think, even though I just said it, but the use of ums and ahs. So I
yes.
feel like beforehand I was probably very much like this, that, but now it's still there, but it's quite reduced.
Mm,
It's smaller, and I think that's probably a really big thing that I've noticed. Even when I have meetings and things at work, I notice that I'm continuously speaking rather than and pausing rather than using an or an as a pause, which is
mm.
quite good, and I think has been really effective growth for me.
Yeah, that's great. It's a good takeaway for the audience as well, like the way we do evaluations, and we do highlight these small, tiny things as well, just to brush up and tune up the speaker's skills as well. Because ums and ahs are so common that we tend to speak in front of the audience as well because we use it in our daily lives like so many times. Maybe I'm using it a lot of times during this conversation, so that can happen with anyone. The other thing that is so, I believe, like so that is also being highlighted a lot of times by the evaluators that this shouldn't be used, and instead of that, these are basically called the filler words, and instead of that we can use, we can take a pause is recommended. Yeah, so yeah, that's awesome. Elishka, just last question for this episode today: that how would you encourage others to join the Blacktown City Toastmasters Club? Specifically, what is great about our club?
I think what is really great about the club is everyone's very inclusive and very
Mm,
encouraging. I think there's one thing that is very daunting. Public speaking can be very daunting. And if you don't have, encouraging people around you, then it's very hard to overcome that fear. So the one thing that's great about Blacktown City Toastmasters is that everyone's encouraging, everyone's supportive,
mm,
everyone wants you to succeed. There's a
mm,
will in the whole club that every single person has the opportunity to succeed, which is great. And I think another thing, just as encouragement, just taking from my experience of going to the 50th anniversary and going into that table topics, I was like, yeah, got this in the bag. And getting up there, it was kind of like a wake up to me of you actually do great at public speaking,
mm,
but not when it's impromptu or you're not ready to just speak openly quickly. So I think when people do come out of university and do come out of high school, we don't get to practice our oral communication, our public speaking as much anymore as we would have with
yes.
assignments and assessments. So I think it's a really great way to keep honing those skills and keep refreshing those skills. It's like when you go to the gym, and you keep working on your arms or you keep working on your legs. It's kind of like that. You have to keep working on your public
Mm.
speaking skills, keep working that brain and learning and trying new things, which is definitely what Blacktown City Toastmasters offers.
And that's absolutely correct. That's how we are here. And Elishka is one of the example who is one of the newest member. And look how how excited she is. Even after her exam, she is feeling great doing this interview, sharing a lot of information, her learnings, her experience with all of you. So thank you very much, Elishka. I really appreciate your time for today's show, and we will definitely would like to see you some other time in this podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
Thank you.